From being a three-time All-Star to one of the most disappointing trades of all time, Ben Simmons just can't catch a break. For everyone wondering why he's been in such terrible form, well, I might just have some new information on the matter. To put it simply, his injuries just keep piling on. Before he came to the Brooklyn Nets, Ben Simmons was being hailed as the next big thing. The man was already a three-time All-Star and was revered by many. However, all of that has since collapsed as his career has taken a turn for the worst.
Simmons, take a little hook shot, can't get it to go. Claxton finds Simmons cutting, and he will dump that one in.
In case you're wondering what I'm talking about, I'm talking about his injury. What started as just a small case of muscle soreness has progressively gotten worse and worse over time. The man can't even bring himself to practice with his team anymore. His coaches have no clue as to what's been going on with the dude, and recently, he announced that he'd suffered from yet another injury. In all fairness, Simmons has shown in the past that he's a pretty awesome player, so his recent performances kinda make sense, considering he's been dealing with all of these injuries that just keep piling on. Which begs the question, what happened this time? He's now suffered from a nerve damage that's made his back injury worse. If the injuries he was already suffering from weren't enough, now he's suffering from an even more extreme case. Now that he's gotten a nerve impingement, it's unlikely that we'll see him out on the court again anytime soon.
Mr. Softy. That's tough. He's hustling, though. He gets the steal, and then Durant throws down the slam, and he is fired up. Look at him.
We'll likely have to wait till next season to see any shape or form of Ben Simmons near a basketball. It's pretty disappointing to see such a bright prospect having his career ruined thanks to an injury. When it comes to bad luck, Ben Simmons has hit the jackpot. To top it all off, he hasn't been a fan favorite as of late either. I mean, every time the dude steps foot on an NBA court, he gets booed out almost immediately. The fans don't look happy with his recent batch of performances and aren't ready to show any remorse just yet.
And Ben Simmons picked up the loose ball at the other end, and that's the only time he's touched it, and the chorus of boos begin. Again.
Maybe he'll get lucky and catch a break from all the hate now that the news has gotten out about his latest injury. This makes you wonder how he's been performing this season, considering he's been dying every time he's even gone near a basketball. Well, the statistics speak for themselves, and not in a good way. Up until this point, Simmons has only been able to play 42 games with the Brooklyn Nets. He's missed 15 games in a row, and his absence was felt after the Nets' recent loss to the Cavaliers. The man used to be a staple part of the team, and now he's been reduced to dead weight. It seems like the 42 games he's played so far are the only games he'll be able to play for the rest of the season because his injury looks nasty. Even in the games he played in, he only managed to average a meager 6 points per game.
Factor here against the Grizzlies with how they're able to operate in the post and get to the basket.
Simmons entering the post, wheels around, and he hits. How about that?
In other words, he's doing worse than if we picked the best pickup ball player from a random neighborhood and threw them into the lineup. Simmons is going to need to buck up and figure out a way to fight this thing before it's too late. It's looking unlikely that the Nets will want to keep him around after his recent string of bad performances.
They like where they're headed. They know they need to fill some holes, but they're going to ride with it. Consistency matters. Nice lead. This time Dinwiddie sets up Ben Simmons with the lob.
So, if he wants a shot at staying with Brooklyn, he's going to need to recover fast. With that being said, y'all must be wondering what his coaches have to say about all of this. Well, they had a bunch to say, and it's not good. It's no secret that his coaches aren't impressed with the way he's been playing recently. They don't even know what's been going on with his training. The man has just kept everyone in the dark and just keeps on getting injured over and over again. When asked about Simmons' condition, his coach, Jacques Vaughn, talked about how Simmons hasn't been practicing fully yet. Okay, he's got to be struggling with something serious if the man keeps on getting injured even while he isn't giving training his all. Vaughn was also asked about the possibility of having to bench Simmons for the rest of the year. He replied by talking about how he doesn't like to make his own life too complicated and hasn't thought that far ahead. To make things simple, he's dealing with all of these problems one step at a time. With that being said, you have to ask yourself whether there's any chance we'll see Simmons come back anytime soon. If I'm being honest, the possibility is slim.
And last game, the numbers were really encouraging with Simmons and Claxton on the floor together. Here's Harris, good look, and he cans it.
Okay, let's take a look at the facts. Simmons has injuries piling on top of each other like crazy. The man can't hone his skills if he's forced to stay bedridden for months on end, can he? Judging by the seriousness of his injuries, it's clear that we probably won't get to see him on another basketball court for quite a while.
Those little actions in early offense, though, are the things you look for in the preseason.
Oh, Simmons over his head to Claxton for the flush.
There are even talks of this new injury being potentially career-ending for the guy. I mean, I certainly hope that it isn't, but you never know. He hasn't been able to practice on his own, much less with the team. He's been a non-existent member of the Nets lineup for quite a while now, and I'm beginning to think that Simmons might just be gone for good. Of course, there's a chance that he makes a return before the season ends, but with just 9 games left in the regular season, one thing's for sure, and that's the fact that there's no way we'll be seeing him getting any playing time in what's left of the regular season. And with that, we arrive at the final question we all want to be answered. Will Ben Simmons ever be the same again? He used to be one of the best players in the league, but since then, he's gotten progressively worse and just can't seem to get back up on his feet. Now, we can all see how much effort he's been putting into his training. Okay, you got me. That was sarcasm. The way he's been playing, it's as if his coaches are holding a gun to his head and are forcing him to stand out on the court. He doesn't even look like he enjoys playing the game anymore. Of course, it could all be due to the insane amount of pain he's probably been going through for a while now. The way his injuries keep adding up, we'll be lucky to see him attending a game in the crowd, much less as a part of the regular lineup. Anyway, I think it's safe to say that Ben Simmons has fallen from grace pretty spectacularly. The worst part about the whole thing, that there were so many fans who believed that Simmons would be the savior that the Brooklyn Nets needed to win them a championship. But once he arrived on the team, the opposite proved to be true.
We'll take a look at the beauty of a pass as a dime. Simmons with the punch.
I guess it just wasn't meant to be. For his sake, I hope he recovers from this new injury fast and gets back up on his feet. While he may not be in the best form right now, he's not past his prime just yet. He's still got a while to go, and if he wants to make the most of it, he's going to need to step up his game big time. Here's to hoping that Ben Simmons makes a comeback sometime soon.
With the Pistons. Here's Simmons bodying down. Simmons taking his time and finishing.
That was everything on the recent decline of Ben Simmons.